The digital nomad life is not for everyone. I'm Sadaf and today I'm going to give you a quick honest review of being a digital nomad, if this life is for you and how you can actually go about it being a beginner. So in 2025, me and my husband, we gave up our rented house, packed all our stuff into storage and lived the digital nomad life for the next 10 months. We stayed in 4 different countries and lived through 10 different cities. And no, I'm not from a tech background, I'm just a regular person on the internet who had a very regular job. But here's the thing, even though I love the digital nomad life, but I'm back into my city after 10 months. Stay till the end because I'm going to share you exactly why did I come back. As you know, digital nomad is anyone who can earn money online and chooses to work while traveling. But how do you actually earn money in a way that lets you work from anywhere? So for me, this whole journey started back in December 2024 when I lost my job, and instead of getting back into corporate, I wanted to build something of my own, and that's why I went all in into content creation. And I also started my own business by the name Wonder Tag, where we sell travel location-based fridge magnets. They're super cute. They all have been designed by me. You can keep adding new locations every month. If you're curious, the link is in the description. Okay, so back into the story. So in April 2025, our rent agreement was ending. By this time, I had created a good amount of revenue stream working remotely. So when the rent agreement was ending, me and my husband had this conversation on, do we really want to renew our rent agreement? In fact, why not just go and live in a different place just for a month and be back to our city? That's how a digital nomad life started, and from that 1 month it went on to 10 months because that is how addictive this life is. So like any other lifestyle, this lifestyle also demands income stability. Like the work part is what makes this lifestyle sustainable. So you need to first figure that out. If you already have a remote job, you are like halfway there. But if not, then you need to convert your skill into remote friendly setup, for which you first need to find a remote job. Or you can also become self-employed. You can go on Upwork, Fiverr and find clients for yourself, and you can literally work from anywhere. Or you can also start something of your own, like content creation, business or anything on those lines. So once you've figured out your work, the next big question is, where should you go? And instead of just seeing a travel destination, if it's pretty or not, you should actually first see into the practicality of the location, if it supports you working while traveling. Here is the checklist: cost of living, visa rules, the flights from India, co-working and nomad infrastructure, safety and commuting, and last but not the least, reliable internet. There are some beginner-friendly countries which you can start with, which is affordable and supports the digital nomad lifestyle. The first one has to be Bali, Indonesia. So it is one of the top starter destination. It's affordable, has strong Wi-Fi, tons of co-working spaces, and I too started my journey from Bali. Next is Thailand, which is affordable and super beginner friendly. Vietnam comes third, which has low cost of living and great option if you want to keep your budget tight. Next is Malaysia, another Southeast Asia option. It's comfortable, modern and convenient. Then we have Sri Lanka, which is much closer to India, and the best part is this country has introduced a digital nomad visa very recently. If you really don't want to explore Southeast Asia, you can also go to Colombia, Medellin, which is one of the most popular affordable options in Latin America. These were some of the budget countries you can go to, but beyond budget there are a lot of countries which offers long-term travel visas or digital nomad visas. Just remember, visa rules keep changing, and that's why I've created a free document for all of you. You can find the link in the description. The free document gives you a quick comparison of all of these countries in terms of cost, flights, visas and other miscellaneous factors which you should cut. So while international destinations are definitely amazing, we have amazing options in India too if you do not want to get into the visa hassle and stuff. Indian locations like Tirthan Valley in Himachal. I remotely worked in Jibhi earlier in 2022. The next location I would like to recommend is South Goa. Even Panjim, the capital of Goa, is a great base if you want a laid-back city vibe. I was in South Goa for a month. We also have Beer, which is beautiful, has enough long stay options. So addressing the elephant in the room, how do you actually manage your money while living this lifestyle? Digital nomad life is not glamorous. It's about how well you can sustain this lifestyle without constantly stressing about money. Honestly, I'm super proud how we planned our finances without feeling financially stressed even once. So this is the system we followed. We divided our income into 3 buckets. The first one is the need bucket. which is going to be 60 to 70% of your income. The next one is travel and experiences, which is going to be 20 to 30% of your income. And the last bucket is going to be your safety bucket, which is 10% of your income. Need is your non-negotiable living cost. So before you even leave, calculate what you currently spend every month on, like rent, groceries, electricity, Wi-Fi, maid, utilities, and that entire savings went into our Airbnbs. This is the key mindset shift. You are not upgrading your lifestyle, you are redirecting it. My simple rule was your Airbnb rent should ideally stay within what you were already paying for rent plus utilities back at home. You can add a small buffer, but do not suddenly double your lifestyle just because you are in Bali. That is how nomad life can get expensive. Same rule for groceries. If your grocery budget is around 15 to 20,000, try to stay in that bracket. Eat out sometimes, sure, but if every meal becomes vacation dining, your budget will explode. And to be honest, smart nomads cook their own meal. That is sustainable. We ate out for one meal a day and cooked the other two. Simple one-pot meals like quick sandwiches, oat balls, and that is the reason why we always booked an Airbnb with a proper kitchen. Now coming to your second bucket, which is travel and experiences. Now, flights are not part of your normal monthly expenses. They are extra. So if you already have a travel fund, amazing. That is what we did. Flights and activities came from that bucket. But if you do not have one, start saving specifically for travel before you leave. So here's a pro tip. Fewer flights and longer stays. As longer Airbnb stays often come with discounts. And our last bucket is a safety bucket, which ideally I feel is a non-negotiable, because when something goes wrong in another country, it feels 10 times bigger. Also, if you are traveling internationally, forex fees quietly eats up your money. So you can use cards with low conversion fees, always pay in local currency, and carry a backup card. We have always been using Neo as a forex card. I will link it in the description. And one more important thing, if you're outside India for long periods, your tax status can change. So do not ignore that. Talk to your CA at least once to stay safe long term. So talking about my honest experience as a digital nomad, ex-digital nomad person, after a point I understood that digital nomad life comes with its own highs and lows, and that's why I feel that I should be talking about the pros and the cons so that you can make an informed decision and you truly know what you are getting into. Digital nomad on Instagram can look like super flashy, beaches, cafes, restaurants every day, but that's not how it is. Let me start with the good, because the good is very real in many ways. It felt like a dream life. The biggest upside was the location freedom, just knowing I could wake up in a completely new country and still do my work. It is hard to explain how exciting that felt. My stress had drastically reduced because I was doing something which I love, which is traveling. There was dopamine hit every single day. But what I love most was how we chose to travel. We did not just rush through places, we slow traveled. We stayed long enough to find our local spots, to have familiar faces at cafe, to build tiny routines, and to actually feel what it is like to live there, not just visit. And because we were moving so often, it felt like life kept resetting in the best way. Every month brought a new environment, new people, and a fresh version of everyday life. But then the cons started catching up, and they were not small things. The first one was emotional. I missed really important moments back home. I missed my close friend's wedding, I missed festivals, and those are not the kind of things you can make up for later. Then there was the work side of it. People do not talk about the time zones. The constant changes in time zones made work genuinely challenging. And then the biggest factor for me was health. Healthcare took a toll while we were moving around. I was diagnosed with tenosynovitis and it required physiotherapy for at least a month. So when you put all of that together, it became clear why I decided to come back home. Now I'm back, but it's not like I do not want to go into this journey in the future. I have kept my options open, and there's so much I've learned in this journey. I think the biggest mistake we did with our digital nomad journey was that we made change too constant. Like, we were changing our location base almost every second week. So if I had to leave you with a few practical tips, the first one is simple: go slower than you think you should. Staying longer in one city not only makes life cheaper, it also makes it easier to build a routine. Another thing that helped us during these 10 months was taking short breaks and staying with our parents for a bit. I would genuinely recommend doing that if it is an option for you. It helps you take care of all those boring but important life tasks like bank work, hospital visits, and random errands. Next, do not start with the hardest destination. Pick one of 3 easy places first. The first few months come with a learning curve, no matter how prepared you think you are, so plan extra buffer time and extra money. At the same time, I think it is important to say this out loud. If you love stability, or if you know you cannot focus on work when you are in travel mode, then this lifestyle might not be for you. And that is not a failure, it's just self-awareness. This life rewards people who enjoy change and can stay disciplined even when everything around them keeps shifting. And finally, the biggest takeaway for me is that you do not need as much as you think you do. Living out of a backpack has its own kind of test. This lifestyle has a way of stripping things down and teaching you what matters, what is essential, and what was just clutter. So if you're curious, start slow, plan smart, and be honest with yourself about what you need to feel healthy and stable, because if done right, it can be an incredible experience. So that's it for this video. I hope this gave you a very clear picture on what nomad life is like. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I would love to answer each one of them. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.